Guys, wahala dey o. Dele Farotimi again against us. He has broken silence. Guys, you need to hear this interview he just granted. Just hear him. Dele Farotimi, Peter Obi, along with Kenneth Okonkwo, they blow hot. In fact, Dele Farotimi and Peter Obi make sure you hear them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because this interview is deep. Do you understand? Number one, some persons are saying that Peter Obi was giving hope in 2023, everything they lost. You understand? There's no need of giving try again. Number one, Peter Obi never expected, neither you or me, expected that Anek and Mahmoud, all of them, they will take their criminality to another level. Now we know. They've done it, they are playing that, they are showing they are not repaired. So they said they are strategizing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for Peter Obi to know these people now, and he's still coming out to tell us that they will try what they did now in 2027, meaning there is something they are cooking up. You understand? But I don't want you to hear Dele Farotimi here, and especially that of Peter Obi. Please hear them. It's too loaded. Please, as you watch this video, just keep sharing. Like it so that Facebook and YouTube can recommend that. Please, above all, share.
Any Nigerian who is still hanging around waiting to change Nigeria is a fool. Line 20 Dele Farotimi up and ask them to become president of Nigeria. 20 of me, 20. Multiply their brain power by 10, factor of 10, and then force them to operate the 1999 Constitution with the governance system that is enshrined in it. We shall fail spectacularly. The problem of Nigeria can never be resolved by personnel changes. The system is designed with impunity undergirding it, and it can never deliver anything positive to the Nigerian peoples. Be those Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, whatever they care to be. Make an Igbo man president of Nigeria in 2023 and force him to operate the 1999 Constitution. Complete waste of time. Igbo will continue to suffer the brunt of the wickedness of the Nigerian state. Every Nigerian is rendered stateless by the 1999 Constitution. It is an iniquitous, wicked, and evil document. It has nothing good for the Nigerian people. And the longer we continue to fool ourselves believing, and let me enter one quick caveat. Our rulers are actually very intelligent when they care to be, especially when it comes to their own preservation. And I know as a fact that they're already making noises about restructuring in Abuja. The Mace Snatcher and the Lawan and that one that calls himself Baja, all of them are sat there running helter-skelter, cobbling together some lies that they intend to sell to us as constitutional, what do they call it, amendment. Let's be clear. You cannot continue to build on top of lies. You can't sustain that lie. And as long as justice is missing in a place, you continue to have strife. We need to tell ourselves the truth, and that truth is that the closest we can come to normalcy in Nigeria is to have a return to the original agreements that founded this country. Those agreements are very clear in their fundamentals. One of them, federal system. Nigeria is today not a federal system. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The word federal was brought to life by the American election. Each state has its own electoral body because it is essentially a country within a larger country. That was what our fathers agreed. Nobody agreed a situation where a clueless man will sit down inside a rock and begin to issue edicts and diktats to every other person. Nobody signed on for that in 1960. All the constitutional conferences beginning from 1948 all the way to the 1951, all the way to 1960, each and every one of them was very clear and unambiguous. Nigeria was meant to be a federal system based on parliamentary democracy. It wasn't by accident that our fathers settled on parliamentary democracy. They wanted to make democracy as close to the people as it could be. So it simply meant that if you're a parliamentarian, you knew your people knew you. It was the aggregation of the parliamentarians that determined who became the prime minister And they were also the ones at the regional level who determined who became the premier. So democracy was devolved. It was easier for the people to become involved. What we have today is not a democracy. What we have today is not a federation. We've just become a nation of liars who readily accept every lie that we are told.
That Ndi Igbo do not sell land to the outsiders. It's very unfortunate. It's unguarded. And I think it was meant particularly to malign Ndi Igbo with very ulterior motive. Let me start. My father was into real estate business. And before the war, a man who was not from my town bought a land, had his documents. After the war, the man did not know where the land was, did not have any documents. They told him my father was the honest man. Now point the land to him. He came to my father with gifts and all those. My father said, no, I remember you. I'll take you to your land anytime you are ready. My father took him to his land. And the man turned out to be a bank manager. And he told my father, so it is really true. We still have honest people. Yeah, he is now going to facilitate a loan for my father to improve his business. And that was how my father took loan from the bank and nationalized his transport business, which helped him to become one of the richest men in the town during our own time, because he sold land to somebody who is not from our town. And so when a man now comes to make statements that he's not versed in, then you will know that he has personal anti-Igbo mentality in his gene. Recall that when Nigeria got its independence, University of Nigeria was sited in Nsukka, my town. And that made it a town that everybody from Nigeria came into the land. And it's because they were accommodated. Also, you had a lot of Yoruba, Hausa, coming to University of Nigeria. There were 3 universities then. You had University of Ibadan. They named it after Ibadan. You had Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. And then you had University of Nigeria. So would a town, would a people that have been pro-Nigeria from beginning begin to discriminate as to who to sell land to? Would a people whose article in trade is buying and selling begin to discriminate when they want to sell their land? When an Igbo man is dealing in business, he's looking at profit and loss, not where you come from. Now, if Ndi Igbo are doing well in real estate in Lagos and doing well in real estate in Abuja, where did they learn it from? They learned it from dealing in real estate from their own town, from their own place, because that is merely an expansion. You can't give what you don't have. Now, do you sell land to your own people? No. Everybody has land. If you are a man in Igbo land, you're entitled to a plot of land in your own land. So if there was any land sold by Ndi Igbo, it is sold to people who are not Ndi Igbo. And then, how can somebody ignorantly begin to make such statement? Reuben Abati simply celebrated his ignorance publicly. And let me tell you, he offended the legal profession, because in law, you don't condemn a people unheard. You cannot condemn a people without hearing from their side. He just said he borrowed a language from T.O.S. Benson without even knowing the context. And he ran to television and established it and asserted it as a fact. is against the legal profession. And he condemned Ndi Igbo unheard. What he would have done is to get an Igbo expert to be educated or present him on the show.
We need more transparency. And when you talk about transparency in terms of figures, you show it, you elucidate it. Figures are not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not something you say it's just 2 because of. Tell us how we arrived at it and we'll believe. And when we talk about subsidy, as continuously said, if we are removing subsidy, what are we replacing it with? Where are we applying that subsidy we removed to? So if you say to me, I've removed subsidy, I'm going to use it to build this number of classrooms, to be able to pull out of school children into school, so we can verify and follow and track those schools. We have issue in health, primary health care, especially issue of infant mortality. Removal of resource subsidy will enable us to build this number of primary health cares in different, so that we can measure it. So you don't remove something without saying what is replaced and where are we moving our money to. Or it's helping us to manage our debts. This is it. But here we have fuel subsidy removed, the debt is increasing, and we're not seeing anything. On democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. However, we need to tweak it where we have some level of parliamentary system in it, like is in South Africa. So we need to deal with issue of more scrutiny in our expenditure, in our borrowing, in efforts to be able to ensure that our scarce resources is prioritized to areas of urgent need for development, from security, food, all those areas. I'm not preoccupied about 2027 election. I'm preoccupied by Nigerians eating today and having a better life. I've said it before, my politics is not about the election. I am not desperate to be president, and I don't want to. What I want to hear is that fuel prices are coming down, bread is getting cheaper, Nigerians are not. You cannot be talking about 38 million Nigerians facing hunger, and I'm talking about next election. Let's talk about hunger. Let's talk about managing our resources today. Let's talk about doing the right thing, the right behavior, showing example to the younger ones, growing up that way. That everybody, they have right to protest. I've said it before. I would discuss with every protester. They even want government months before they did that. I would sit down and discuss with them. People protested when I was governor. They even called strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Go and verify. I was talking with them. I didn't come down. I have never, as a politician, as a governor, for one day, go and ask any policeman, say, please, stop somebody. Talk less of arresting the person. It shouldn't be. In a democracy, people have right to say no. I've said it every day. If I'm managing this facility and everybody loves me, I will resign. This is me. Wherever I am, I believe that I have enemies. My job is to convince them. If everybody loves me, then there's a problem. There's people who hate me because I'm just Peter. They don't even need to give me any reason. It is my job to convince them on why it should be. I convince the teachers why we should return schools to missionaries, and they've seen the result. I convince them why we should go to the missionary facilities, the Ministry of Health, and build school of nursing and midwifery. You just have to. It's a constant thing. That's why you're a leader. You're a communicator. You listen, you talk to the people. It's not a question of what the young ones, I'll meet them. The agitators, the protesters, I will be talking to them.